Across the United States, a silent invasion is underway. An invisible menace is causing widespread destruction across the United States, costing $150 billion annually and driving many species toward extinction. Are we ready to confront the silent invaders destroying our homeland? They may appear harmless, but these intruders pose a direct threat to our environment, economy, and health. While government officials scramble to devise eradication strategies, the question remains, how much damage will we tolerate before taking decisive action? This is more than just a fight for our land, it's a battle for survival. Free from natural predators, they multiply at alarming rates, outcompeting native species for resources and disrupting the delicate web of life. This leads to the destruction of native plants, the decline of local wildlife, and the rapid spread of diseases. The resulting disruption collapses food chains and accelerates extinction rates, contributing to a 58% decline in biodiversity in affected regions. Globalization has intensified this issue. During European colonization, numerous invasive species were introduced to the Americas, irreversibly altering ecosystems. The scope of the problem is staggering. Over 7,500 invasive species are established in the U.S., wreaking havoc on agriculture, fisheries, and natural habitats. Notable offenders include the zebra mussel, causing $1 billion in annual water infrastructure damage, the Burmese python, decimating wildlife in Florida, the emerald ash borer, which has killed millions of ash trees and cost industries hundreds of millions. The urgency to address this ecological crisis cannot be overstated. Did you know that your morning glass of orange juice is under threat? A pest no larger than a grain of rice, the Asian citrus psyllid, carries a devastating disease known as huanglongbing, HLB, or citrus greening. This disease, often described as the cancer of citrus, wreaks havoc on trees by deforming their roots, causing premature fruit drop, and eventually killing them. The disease is spread by the Asian citrus psyllid as it feeds on citrus tree leaves. Florida, which produces 80% of the nation's orange juice, is ground zero for this crisis. Today, half of Florida's citrus trees are infected, jeopardizing the livelihoods of farmers and threatening the entire U.S. citrus industry. The danger doesn't stop there. HLB has spread to other major citrus states like Georgia, Texas, and California. The arrival of the Asian giant hornet, Vespa mandarinia, in the United States in 2019 triggered widespread panic and media sensation, earning them the ominous nickname murder hornets. First discovered in Washington state, these massive insects, the world's largest hornets measuring up to 2 inches in length, represent a severe threat to American agriculture and native insect populations. Their discovery sent shockwaves through the beekeeping community and agricultural sectors dependent on pollination. These hornets earn their fearsome reputation through their hunting behavior. A small group of Asian giant hornets can decimate an entire honeybee colony of 30,000 bees in just hours, decapitating the bees and feeding the thoraxes to their young. This efficient slaughter, known as the slaughter phase, poses an existential threat to American honeybees, which haven't evolved defensive strategies against these predators. Unlike their Asian counterparts, which can cook the hornets alive through collective heat generation, American honeybees are virtually defenseless. The potential economic impact is nightmarish. The U.S. beekeeping industry, already struggling with colony collapse disorder and other challenges, faces a new threat that could devastate pollination services worth $15 billion annually to American agriculture. Beyond their impact on honeybees, these hornets also pose a direct threat to human health. Their sting contains a potent neurotoxin, and their quarter-inch stingers can penetrate traditional beekeeping suits. In their native range, they cause an average of 50 human deaths annually. Finding effective solutions to manage this invasive species will be critical in the years to come. In the heart of Florida's Everglades, a silent predator stalks the swamps and marshes. The Burmese python, a constrictor native to Southeast Asia, has found an ideal home in this subtropical paradise. These enormous snakes, some reaching lengths of over 20 feet, are apex predators capable of swallowing prey whole. Studies have shown dramatic declines in mammal populations in areas where pythons are established. The pet trade is largely to blame for the python invasion. Irresponsible owners released unwanted pets into the wild, where they quickly established a breeding population. controlling the python population has proven to be a monumental challenge. The story of the Burmese python is a cautionary tale, highlighting the dangers of introducing exotic species into delicate ecosystems. Norway rat. Introduced in 1775, the Norway rat has since infiltrated every U.S. state. Known for their adaptability, these rodents thrive in human environments, devouring everything from crops to garbage. Their ability to climb trees and raid bird nests further endangers local wildlife. With a single pair capable of producing 2,000 offspring a year, controlling Norway rats is an uphill battle. They are not only destructive but also disease carriers, posing a significant threat to public health and food security. Despite their name, Norway rats are originally from Asia, but they've proven to be incredibly adaptable, thriving in urban, suburban, and rural environments alike. Feral hogs. Imagine a creature with razor-sharp teeth, curling tusks, and a temperament so fiery that it charges at humans without hesitation. Meet the feral hog, also known as wild pigs or boars. These animals are essentially domesticated pigs that have reverted to a wild state. Once just farm animals, they've adapted to survive and thrive in the wild, becoming a formidable presence across the United States. Feral hogs have established themselves in 47 states, with particularly massive populations in Texas, Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. Virginia is also seeing a growing number of these wild pigs. Their rapid spread and population growth have turned them into a significant concern for both farmers and wildlife officials. Experienced hunters in many states are given a green light to shoot feral hogs on sight. This aggressive approach is due to the staggering damage these animals cause each year, about $1.5 billion nationwide. The destruction they wreak extends beyond agricultural losses. They're an ecological nightmare. Feral hogs have a voracious appetite and an indiscriminate diet. They consume turtle eggs, wild turkey eggs, and quail that nest on the ground. Their feeding habits also include acorns and chestnuts, which are vital for the regeneration of forests. By eating these seeds, feral hogs impede the growth of the next generation of trees. In addition to the direct ecological impact, feral hogs also pose risks to human health and safety, carrying diseases that affect livestock, pets, and even humans. Across America, a beloved household companion harbors a dark secret. The domestic cat, often seen as a symbol of comfort and companionship, is, in reality, one of the most devastating invasive predators in the United States. These seemingly innocent pets, when allowed to roam freely outdoors, are responsible for the deaths of billions of birds and small mammals each year. Their impact on wildlife is both profound and alarming. Domestic cats, with their natural hunting instincts, pose a significant threat to local wildlife. Birds are particularly vulnerable to feline predation, and the consequences are dire. By decimating bird populations, cats disrupt the delicate balance of ecosystems. Birds play a vital role in seed dispersal, pollination, and insect control, and their loss can have cascading effects on the environment. The presence of cats in natural habitats can lead to a decline in bird species, which in turn affects plant regeneration and insect populations. This disruption can alter entire ecosystems. Birds are essential for maintaining healthy ecosystems. They help in controlling insect populations, pollinating plants, and spreading seeds. Without them, many ecosystems would struggle to survive. While it may seem counterintuitive, even well-fed cats will hunt. Their predatory instincts are hardwired, and they will chase and kill wildlife regardless of their hunger levels. The solution to this problem is surprisingly simple: keep cats indoors. By doing so, we can protect wildlife and ensure that our pets are safe from outdoor dangers. By providing them with a stimulating indoor environment, owners can satisfy their cats' needs while protecting wildlife. Interactive toys, climbing trees, and regular playtime can keep indoor cats happy and healthy. It is our responsibility, as stewards of the environment, to find solutions that protect both cats and the ecosystems they threaten. By making small changes in how we care for our pets, we can make a big difference in preserving biodiversity. Meet the northern snakehead, the baby factory fish, a fish so menacing it has earned a reputation as the most feared aquatic invader. With sharp teeth and the ability to carry up to 100,000 eggs at a time, snakeheads outcompete native fish for food and habitat. Since their introduction in the early 2000s, snakeheads have spread beyond the Chesapeake Bay, reaching as far as Delaware and Virginia. Their rapid proliferation poses a significant threat to local wildlife as they compete for food and habitat with native species. Visually, the snakehead is a bizarre hybrid, looking like something between a python and an electric eel. It's an unsettling sight with a long serpentine body and a menacing set of teeth. Despite attempts to control its population by encouraging people to fish and eat it, these efforts have largely fallen short. The snakehead remains a persistent threat to the native aquatic life in the estuary. Brown marmorated stink bug. There's a good chance a stink bug is in your house right now. These little invaders are quite indifferent to your presence. All they need is a cozy spot to hibernate through winter. Come spring, they awaken eager to mate and proliferate, potentially leading to millions more stink bugs. These bugs are particularly annoying due to their tendency to swarm and their distinctive smell, often likened to cilantro. However, they pose no direct threat to humans as they don't bite or transmit diseases. One of the biggest issues with stink bugs is their impact on agriculture. They are notorious for destroying fruits and vegetables, which in turn drives up produce prices. This problem began when they first appeared in Allentown, Pennsylvania back in 1996. It's believed they hitched a ride on a cargo ship from China. In their native habitat in China, stink bugs aren't much of a nuisance, thanks to natural predators like small parasitic wasps, which lay their eggs on the stink bugs' backs. The wasp larvae then use the stink bug as a food source, effectively controlling the population. Unfortunately, these wasps don't exist in the mid-Atlantic region of the United States, allowing stink bug populations to grow unchecked and wreak havoc on local agriculture. The Shakespeare Connection. In the heart of New York City, a testament to the law of unintended consequences unfolds. Central Park, a sprawling green oasis amidst the concrete jungle, is the stage for this fascinating story. Central Park, a green oasis amidst the urban sprawl, is home to a bird whose presence can be traced back to a seemingly harmless act of literary enthusiasm. This bird is the European starling, a species that has become both a marvel and a menace. In the late 19th century, a group of Shakespeare enthusiasts, inspired by the bard's works, released 100 European starlings into Central Park. They aimed to introduce every bird mentioned in Shakespeare's plays to America. The starling, a highly adaptable and aggressive species, quickly thrived in its new environment. Its ability to mimic sounds and adapt to various habitats made it a successful invader. Today, over 200 million starlings inhabit North America. Their population explosion is a direct result of that fateful release over a century ago. Starlings are known for their voracious appetites, consuming vast quantities of insects, seeds, and fruits. Their feeding habits have significant impacts on agriculture and native ecosystems. They are cavity nesters, competing fiercely with native birds for limited nesting sites. This competition often results in the displacement of native species. The story of the starling is a cautionary tale about the importance of understanding the potential consequences of our actions. It reminds us that even well-intentioned acts can lead to unforeseen and far-reaching impacts on our environment. The swamp rat situation. In the marshes and wetlands of the southeastern United States, an unlikely invader wreaks havoc. The nutria, a large semi-aquatic rodent native to South America, is now a common sight. Originally brought to the United States in the 1930s for their fur, nutria quickly escaped captivity and established themselves in the wild. Nutria are ecosystem engineers, their feeding and burrowing habits dramatically altering the environments they inhabit. They are voracious herbivores, consuming vast quantities of aquatic vegetation, often denuding entire areas of plant life. Nutria burrows pose an additional threat, weakening levees and dikes, increasing the risk of flooding. The nutria invasion highlights the importance of careful consideration before introducing non-native species. The carp catastrophe. Beneath the surface of America's heartland, a silent invasion threatens the ecological integrity of our nation's waterways. This invasion is not just a minor disturbance. It has the potential to completely alter the aquatic ecosystems that have existed for centuries. Asian carp, a group of invasive fish species, are rapidly colonizing rivers and lakes. Their presence is becoming more pronounced with each passing year, causing concern among environmentalists and local communities alike. Introduced to the United States in the 1970s for aquaculture and water quality control, these fish have escaped their confines and established themselves in the wild. Their adaptability and rapid reproduction have made them a formidable force in the wild. Asian carp are voracious filter feeders, consuming vast quantities of plankton, the foundation of the aquatic food web. This feeding behavior disrupts the natural balance, depriving native species of essential food resources. Silver carp, one of the 4 species of Asian carp, are notorious for their tendency to leap from the water when startled by boat motors. This behavior poses a danger to boaters and has led to numerous injuries. The ecological and economic consequences of an Asian carp invasion of the Great Lakes are staggering. The potential damage to the fishing industry and local economies could be irreversible. Efforts to prevent the spread of Asian carp into the Great Lakes are ongoing. These efforts include physical barriers, monitoring, and research into more effective control methods. The fight against Asian carp is a race against time, requiring a multi-pronged approach, including prevention, control, and public awareness. Collaboration between government agencies, scientists, and the public is crucial to protect our waterways. The moth invasion. In the forests of the northeastern United States, a silent battle rages between trees and a seemingly insignificant foe. The gypsy moth, an invasive insect native to Europe and Asia, has been waging war on American forests for over a century. The gypsy moth's story in America began in 1869, when a French scientist accidentally released a small number of moths in Medford, Massachusetts. Gypsy moth caterpillars are eating machines, devouring leaves at an alarming rate. Repeated defoliation weakens trees, making them more susceptible to disease, drought, and other stressors. Controlling gypsy moth populations is a complex and ongoing challenge. The gypsy moth invasion is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our world and the unintended consequences of human actions. Protecting our future. The battle against invasive species is a global challenge, one that requires a coordinated and sustained effort. Stricter regulations on the exotic pet trade, better screening of imported goods, and increased funding for control programs are all essential components of a comprehensive strategy. Public education is also crucial, as informed citizens can play a vital role in preventing the introduction and spread of invasive species. The fight against invasive species is not just about protecting our environment, it's about safeguarding our economy, our health, and our way of life. Invasive species like these may seem like isolated issues, but their collective impact threatens our way of life. Whether it's the orange groves of Florida or the coral reefs of the Atlantic, these silent invaders endanger everything we hold dear. The time to act is now, before it's too late.